Mind, money, and meanings. Did you know that it's your mind that keeps you from being successful and rich? That's right, your mind is the difference between being poor to being rich. Every aspect of your life, your happiness, wealth, and health are all influenced by your emotional and mental disposition. When you have a positive mental attitude, it can help you to attain your high financial heights. Why? A positive mental approach in your life alleviates your mind from negative emotions like anger, fear, anxiety, envy, regret, etc. By giving in to negative thoughts or emotions, you waste energy, emotional and mental, on them. Instead of focusing on these actions, focus on more worthy goals. Do not give in to any negative emotions or thoughts. Don't allow them to take up space, even a minute amount of space. If you want to improve your chances of success and wealth, you need to change your mindset, thoughts, feelings, actions, and reactions to something positive. A positive mental attitude can fill your consciousness with an array of positive emotions like love, peace, happiness, harmony, and prosperity. When you constantly think positive thoughts, you naturally exude an air of self-confidence with an inviting personality that brings people to you, the kind of person people want to be with. With a positive mental attitude to life, you cultivate a positive approach to your life that successful people tend to have. Dressing positive, talking positive, thinking positive, and acting positive. You always stand tall, your chest out, and your face up to the world. You always expect positive things to happen and attain the results you want. Rather than thinking about the lack of something in your life, you let your mind think of prosperity and richness. Rather than thinking about bad health, you think of vitality. Rather than thinking of loss, you think about success and attainments. Rather than thinking the impossible, think it's possible. You want to be an optimistic person, not a pessimist. Rather than constantly being filled with worry and dread, allow your mind to be hopeful. Don't let fear rule your mind. Don't allow self-doubt to ruin your chances of success. You need to have faith if you are to be successful in your endeavors. It's all about the mindset you have that dictates if you're either richer or poorer, if you're successful or unsuccessful, or if you're lucky or unlucky. Mental attitude is everything. It dictates how you handle situations and the chances that come your way. The rich tend to have a rich mental attitude, whereas poor people tend to have poor mental attitudes. Of course, most of this is subconscious, meaning people are aware of this attitude. To better understand this, imagine two minds. One is a rich mind, while the other is a poor mind. Stand side by side on a road and watch a brand new vehicle go by. Both look at the car in great delight and watch it disappear around the corner. A person with a poor mind will shake their head, saying he'll never get to have something like that, and it's not the kind of car for them. This mindset and line of thinking automatically makes him think there's no possible way to attain the car. It cuts off any possible emotional, mental, or spiritual possibilities of it happening. Rather than thinking of possible solutions to have the car, he's rather focused on the negative parts. A person with a rich mindset will start getting excited about the possibility of owning a car like that. He'll say that he'll do whatever he can to have it and will start thinking of ways to make the dream a fruition. The rich mindset automatically looks for ideas to help him attain the goal of owning a car like the one he just saw. He's using his emotional, spiritual, and mental energy to ensure the dream becomes a reality. He's setting a target and is determined to see it come to life. Rich mind versus poor mind. What's the difference between the two? How does the rich mind think? The rich mind thinks of opportunities. The rich mind is always looking for how things can get done. The rich mind is asking how they can get something. The rich mind is asking what they need to use to attain something. The rich mind sees beautiful things in life. The rich mind looks beyond prison bars and sees the moon, stars, and sun. The rich mind sees chances at every corner and pursues them. The rich mind feels he can overcome Goliath. The rich mind sees stepping stones. The rich mind looks at a glass half full and is happy. The rich mind uses everything to ensure things turn out the way they want. The rich mind provides results. The rich mind looks at wealth. The rich mind is confident and feels they have an endless supply. The rich mind believes life should be lived to the fullest. The rich mind sees poverty as a bad thing. The rich mind wants money and will do everything they can to get it. The rich mind always has a purpose. The rich mind sees value in money and isn't a slave to it. The rich mind uses money to work for them. The rich mind makes their own luck by working for it. The rich mind will strive to get what they want and need by finding avenues to ensure this happens. What does the poor mind think? The poor mind thinks in practicalities. The poor mind feels nothing can be achieved. The poor mind feels they can't have something. The poor mind tells itself that they don't have what it takes. The poor mind sees darkness even in the light. The poor mind looks from the prison bars and sees dirt, clouds, and rain. The poor mind sees danger lurking and does whatever to avoid them. The poor mind feels he can't overcome Goliath. The poor mind sees impediments. The poor mind sees a glass half full and is filled with dread. The poor mind will make excuses for how things come out. The poor mind is about reasons and excuses. The poor mind is all about limitations. The poor mind is hesitant and not sure of him or herself. The poor mind thinks life is difficult and is riddled with obstacles. The poor mind thinks poverty is a good thing. The poor mind constantly wishes that he had money but refuses to earn it. The poor mind only has wishes. The poor mind lets money rule them. The poor mind will work for money. The poor mind waits for their luck. The poor mind goes through life in constant denial and cuts back on what they want and need. Positive versus negative perspectives. How will you face life? No matter what set of circumstances you face in your life, there's always a negative aspect and a positive one. When two people are faced with the same situation, one will see it in a more positive light while the other sees it in a more negative way. Some people are just born optimistic while others are just a pessimist. Why the difference? It's the mental attitudes, or rich mind versus poor mind. The kind of mind a person has determines their actions and reactions in life and to situations they face. How you see something is an aspect of your attitude toward life. This aspect has been filtering into you since you were a child. The outer world is merely a reflection of yourself on the inside. If you want to create your own destiny, you need to ask yourself the following questions. What kind of mental attitude do I have? What is the color of my mindset? Am I an optimist or a pessimist? Do I consider myself rich or poor? Remember, by knowing what your mindset is, you create the destiny you want. A positive attitude is a powerful force that can steer you to attaining the goals in your life. When it comes to the law of mental causation in action, it's imperative to bring ideas, resources, and people into your life that will ensure that your powerful thoughts come to pass. It doesn't matter if they're good or bad, rich or poor, or positive or negative. You need to nurture positive thoughts that ensure the results you want come to fruition. This is done only by cultivating the positive mental attitude. Don't let negative emotions, fear, greed, anxiety, anger, or others to thwart your attempts to have a good life. How your thought quality is will determine your life quality. The kind of mental attitude you have dictates the kind of experiences you see and have. Your attitude is dictated by your thoughts. If you think rich, you have a rich life. If you think poor, you'll have a poor life. That's just the way it is. By constantly living and thinking positive, you cultivate a rich, positive life for yourself. You attract similar, like-minded individuals to you, and you can see a totally new perspective that ensures you live a fuller, richer, healthier, and happier life. The mind's power can help in attaining your goals and success. When it comes to gaining success, goals, and creativity, the mind is a powerful thing. You can use special parts of your mind to increase the speed in which you grow and learn. When talking about the mind, you have to realize that there are three parts of it. When used in conjunction with each other, you can attain success in most everything you go after. What are the three minds? They are conscious, subconscious, superconscious. Each one of these minds comprises of tools that make up the entire mind. Best of all, everybody has them in their mind. It's up to you to tap into them and make your thoughts become a reality. Every one of the mind's parts is crucial in helping you to attain your goals, desires, and dreams. You have the power to make that happen for yourself. Now, you may be wondering what each aspect of the mind does and how. When combined, they can be used to get what you want. A look at the conscious mind. The conscious mind, also called the programmer, is the first mind aspect you should understand. It's the mind you clearly understand and recognize. After all, it's the mind that helps you to make decisions. When people talk about the mind, they're often referring to the conscious mind. The conscious mind is responsible for the decisions and beliefs people have. The conscious mind is used to sift through information before them and give those ideas priorities based on what's known as the belief system. The conscious mind isn't just about making decisions based on information. It's also used to set goals for oneself. These goals are then programmed into the mind's subconscious. The conscious mind's programming is a dominant tool to attain those goals, as it sets into motion the various problem-solving and computing functions the subconscious mind has within it. A look at the subconscious mind. The subconscious mind is regarded as the biological machine with tremendous powers at solving programs. Of all three minds, it's this mind that does the most work. The mind is the part that controls the body's automatic function like digestion, blood flow, etc. It's also the mind that releases important hormones like the fight or flight response when you feel you're in danger. The subconscious mind is what holds your memories. Think of your subconscious mind as a computer. It can hold a plethora of memories that are then used to address a situation and solve problems using innovative solutions. This is why you need to learn as much as you can about as many subjects as you can. The subconscious mind sees external information and stores it into memories that you can use later to solve problems or make plans to achieve a goal you want. When it comes to achieving goals, you should cultivate new habits that are positive. The subconscious mind can formulate thought patterns and actions, turning them into habits that will help you to quickly grow and attain your desires. Another reason you need to foster great habits is that the superconscious mind needs them to turn thoughts into actions, but on a spiritual level. A look at the superconscious mind. This mind is known as the universal mind and goes beyond the physical plane of life. This mind is referred to as the soul or human spirit. For many, it's the piece of God himself. Our souls tend to have powerful connections that go beyond the physical realm of life. Since the universal mind has a powerful connection to the other two minds and a plethora of intelligence, people can tap into its psychic powers. The kind of powers that you can tap into include, but are not limited to, telepathy, clairvoyance, telekinesis, extrasensory perception. Besides the psychic abilities afforded to them, people can use the universal mind to have access to a plethora of information the superconscious mind has stored. All through history, many names have been given for this information powerhouse, and anybody can use it if they're willing to tap into it. Besides giving a person the ability to attain their desires, dreams, and goals, the superconscious mind can be used to entertain certain possibilities that will help them to increase the pace in which they attain these goals and dreams. When used along with the subconscious mind, the superconscious mind can bring those hopes and dreams you have to fruition. By using every part of your mind together, you can attain anything you think of and are determined to get. Do you see how powerful your mind is by now? Each person has these tools to use whatever they want. In order to use each mind part, consider the following steps listed below to help you attain your goal. It's important to spend time looking at each goal you have to ensure it's the right one for you. Once you know what it is you truly want to go after, you need to program it in your mind. The subconscious mind, using various tools such as affirmations, visualization, self-talk, meditation, etc. By reaffirming the goal in your subconscious mind, you can step away and allow the subconscious mind to use the store memories and data to use the senses. This will help to formulate the best action plan to ensure you achieve your goal. When you formulate the action steps, you must then carry out those goals repeatedly to ensure success and that they come about naturally. It's not uncommon to have big goals that need the superconscious mind's help. When the subconscious mind taps into the superconscious mind, it allows this mind to use the plethora of stored data and spiritual connection to give your life possibilities that ensure your dreams come to fruition. The rich, poor, and lost money mindset. A money guru once said during a motivational talk session that money was a defense and not having any was an offense. There were some people in the audience that agreed with this statement, clapping and nodding. Others shook their heads and grunted, thinking, "No way." This mentality easily divided people and led to a serious debate. It was getting out of hand, so the speaker clarified what he was trying to mean with the statement. It was then that some realized that there were three kinds of mindsets: rich mindset, poor mindset, lost mindset. A closer look at each mindset. Rich mindset. A person with a rich mindset tend to be selfless people who know that money means they can contribute to humanity. They see money as a way to help them help others, not as a means to an end. They understand that money is accepted all around the world as the currency of exchange. They work hard to attain wealth for the purpose of attaining their goals in life. Rich mindset people see money without a purpose as nothing at all. They're regarded as givers, believers, lovers, charitable, bold, peacemakers, etc. If you want to follow someone positive, it's good to follow a person with a rich mindset, a persona with long-term goals and dreams. Poor mindset. With this mindset, a person is regarded as greedy and selfish. They tend to have a flawed thinking about prosperity. This person tends to think earning and having money is the main reason a person exists, and they need to accumulate wealth however possible. They love money and will sell their souls to go after it. With this love for money, they tend to overlook the important things in life. Money is everything to these people. They're regarded as exploiters, desperate, superficial, fraudsters, thieves, etc. These are the kind of people you need to avoid because they're always looking for ways to get rich quick. Lost mindset. And then there are those who sit on the sidelines judging. They are the lost mindset group who don't care either way, as they feel money is the root of all evil in the world. They think money is bad and struggling, good or bad, is a problem that only leads to eternal damnation. Their spirits tend not to have a purpose, which is why they're often blinded with jealousy by those who are wealthy, and they tend not to have a purpose in life for themselves. Lost mindset people tend to see no purpose in money. They're often guarded as critics, dream killers, haters, beggars, drifters, naysayers, controversial, etc. Like the poor mindset, you need to ignore the lost mindset too. They tend to support the idea of a world without money and feel they're entitled to it. Simply put, money can be good, money can be bad, or money can be nothing at all. Why? Money by itself is neutral. It becomes these things how you see it. You can chase it, get it, and use it determines if it's good, bad, or nothing at all. You give money power through your own interpretations, perceptions, and actions. Money tends to be used more for good than bad, especially if a person's life pursuit is something meaningful and it's founded on honesty. With good wealth, a person can help others, build a home, put food on tables, teach others, create jobs, help with healthcare, and others. There is so much good that money can do. It's how you use that determines how money is used. Remember, when you're facing financial hardship or confused about love or why you don't have money, it all boils down to one thing: your money mindset. Eight common money mistakes people make and how you can fix them. It's not uncommon from time to time to spend more money than you intend to, save as much as you'd like, or make a poor financial decision. However, repeatedly making these mistakes can add up to financial ruin and the loss of a lot of money. What are some common money mistakes people tend to make, and how do you make sure to stop them from happening once more? You don't know where your money is going. The biggest mistake people make is not realizing where their money's going after getting paid. How do you solve that issue? It's easy. You create a budget. This means writing out a list of bills you have, how much those bills are, and what you're paying each time you get paid. From that, you can determine how much you spend in vehicle gas, fast food, or restaurants, or other things. Once you know where your money's going, you can create measures that stop or slow the flow down. You can come up with adjustments that keep more money in the household. Not creating an emergency fund. Many people live paycheck to paycheck, unable to save money aside in case of emergency. It's important to create an emergency savings fund that you can use in case there is an emergency. The idea is to create a goal and don't stop putting money into it until you've reached the goal. If you're unsure of how much money you need to save, look at what your monthly household budget is. Waiting to start saving. The worst thing you can do is wait to start saving. After all, you're not getting any younger, and your retirement will be here before you know it. With a retirement account opened in your 20s, you can save 2 times more money than a person will in their 30s. Here's a good rule to follow. For every dollar you make, save 10 cents and put it into your savings account. You can live on 90% of your income now to live comfortably when you retire. You use high interest debt. If you're constantly overdrawing on your checking account and using credit cards to get by, you're just throwing money away. While it's okay to borrow money, these forms of debt can be quite costly. They're also often the result of other options no longer being possible. You're not paying debt the right way. You may think that paying on the bigger debt is more important. Think student loans, housing loan, car loan. However, it's the smaller bills such as credit cards that do you the most harm. The best thing you can do is pay off a credit card that's close to its limit. A high balance on a credit card can reduce your credit score. You should also focus on the card with the higher interest rate. When you pay those off, you'll have money to put towards the bigger balances. Spending money on free items. Most people don't realize that they can get free services from their local library. Think book clubs, music, movies, etc. You can also sign up for a clothing swap or borrow something from a friend. Walk the mall or park instead of joining a gym. There are numerous free options out there. You just need to open your eyes and look. Buying today before you even have the money. Many times people buy things now because they know they'll have the money in the future. However, you should never do this unless you absolutely think the deal is worth it. After all, you'll pay more in the long run for an item when you factor in the interest rate. Rather than putting money on a card and racking up debt, you can wait for another time to pay the item you want and save money for it. This means you can pay cash instead of a card for the item you want to purchase. Spending more on your housing than you should. When it comes to buying a home, everybody wants the best. However, a good rule of thumb is never to buy property that's more than 30% of your take-home pay. If you can't live on your own, consider moving in with a roommate or your parents. When it's time to move out, be sure to rent or buy a home that doesn't interfere with your long-term financial goals. Everybody at one time or another will make financial mistakes. It's a part of life and will happen, even when you don't think it will. The idea is to identify the mistakes you made and learn from them. Create goals that help you avoid making the above mistakes and know that your checking and savings account will reflect your good choices. Reflective learning, how you can build financial wealth for yourself. The laws of money and wealth tend to offer many ways in which a person can create financial freedom. That's right. These laws tend to help more people become millionaires much faster, all because of their awareness of them. Some people try prayer to attain money. Other people will try special waters and beads to attain it. One has to wonder why people seem laden with financial stability and question how to attain money. Why do people who experience a shortage of cash constantly tell themselves they want money? It's because they still do not understand the idea of reflective learning. Successful people understand what reflective learning is and how it helps them to achieve success. It boils down to the power of reflection, the power of the universe where there's no conflict and is continuously signaling wealth. Many call this the conflict-free law of attraction, and it's what most people don't realize about reflective learning. A Course in Miracles can teach you about the spiritual metaphysical principle. According to the principle, the memory of God is the result of a quiet mind. It does not originate from a mind filled with conflict and at war with itself. This is real. No matter what situation you find yourself in, the way things are going in this world is inside you. It's not the outside world and outside of you. It may have been your unconscious mind that led to the financial obligations you have in your life. Nobody truly desires to be in debt or live in poverty, but the techniques people consider mindful for monetary success often lead to these results. This is why you need to stop adopting the habits of successful people to ensure that you get more financial freedom in your life using the laws of wealth and money. This doesn't mean you have to work longer hours or get another job to have the extra money. Of course, if you like this idea, that's fine too. Use the laws of money and wealth to ascertain more money. Highly intelligent people have a mixture of habits that force you to see and think of money. You may think that becoming rich will never happen to you, or you may think that people with a lot of money are doing something crooked to ascertain their wealth. Some people feel that just paying their bills and monthly obligations are enough for them. Whatever you think, this is the reflection of who you are in this world. Many times, people are not even consciously aware of the laws of money and wealth being based on how people see it. How many times have you heard the expression that money is the root of all evil, or that the root of all evil is the desire of wealth, or wealthy people are crooks and they take advantage of poorer individuals? There are more. It's important to let these preconceived notions go and change the technique in which you think about money. Only then can you learn not to be afraid of bringing wealth into your life. Think of how money helps people rebuild their lives after a natural disease. There is a copious number of people who get help every day thanks to the donations and pledges from wealthy people. There are all kinds of avenues that help these people to attain financial stability that are included in the laws of money and wealth. This can help them to become successful. After constantly going over it several times every week, you need to remember that money is dependent upon your willingness to work for it in exchange for something else. Do not feel guilty when you have financial stability or extends that wealth to others. When you retrain your mind to think of money in a different way, you can start putting positive thoughts into your psyche, thoughts that use the reflective mind and will bring your wealth and abundance using the laws of money and wealth. What should you consider subconsciously in the night or consciously when you're awake? I bless the world with wealth when I bless myself. I give the light of true abundance to the rest of the world. I want to share this love of my abundance naturally with the world. Of course, you can create your own affirmations that are aligned with the laws of money and wealth. With these affirmations, you can retrain your mind to think in another way about financial stability and raise your awareness about money. Consider this option as another exercise. Write a checkout to yourself and place it on the desk so you can see it every day. This will give you a reflection of what you want and how you can make it happen for you. Boost your information about the laws of money and wealth and how they work. When you're talking about saving and investing, you need to look for better options. Each of these things can help you to attain more money for yourself. When you're concerned about financial stability, consider meditating and act more positive. Create goals that make sense to attain the wealth and create a life that doesn't include a lot of strife. How can a person who is holy be rift with strife? Continuously consider the laws of wealth and money and allow the feelings of you reaching your goals and financial freedom objectives flood your mind, even if it's yet to happen. Bear in mind that the power of attraction in conjunction with the reflective mind state responds to thoughts and changes them into vibrations. As you ascertain wealth, you begin to fully understand the state of reflective learning. Nobody wants to be in debt or poverty, but it's how a person thinks and sees their financial future that determines, on a subconscious level, which direction they'll go in life. If you want to attain wealth, you must bring it into you. Use your unconscious mind to garner your success. The unconscious mind, deep within your body and mind, is the illusory ego. It's not a real ego, but believes it is, and it's linked to who you are. The ego projects itself as a body known as a human. What does that mean? It means your ego identity is an aspect of your entire mind that see and dream pictures of what it believes is the real world and you. Every aspect is eventually compared to develop a character. This is where the dream of illusion comes. You're unaware and comatose, but automated actions take place. Many successful people have been able to learn the powerful secrets of the mind and controlled the ego instead of letting the ego get control over them. When you're asleep, the unconscious mind hides things that can trigger a state of rigidness. For instance, the activities of the unconscious mind are often regarded as being assumptions. What's happening is that the mindset got together with the subliminal mind and came up with an insensible idea. How do you know when your unconscious mind is influencing you? If you want to know when your unconscious mind is having an effect on the decisions you make, consider this. You're well aware that the mind powers secrets with an even higher sense of awareness. The unconscious mind causes your automatic reactions that result in involuntary thoughts, actions, and motions. The reflex response is what causes you to react to the signals. How can you manage these involuntary actions? Unless the signals are giving you negative messages, you don't have to control the actions. Remember, you're affected positively and negatively, the impacts and directions, which is why you need to understand why you act or feel a particular way. Only then can you learn these mind power secrets. Does staying awake help you to learn these mind power secrets? You shouldn't try staying up to find out what these mind power secrets are. After all, your body and ego need to rest. The key wants to familiarize yourself with these mind power secrets is to talk to yourself and let go of the ego tricks and pranks. According to the Course in Miracles, you're asked to ask the teacher of reality what they are, and upon hearing the answer, you'll laugh at the fears and peace will replace them. What does this mean? It means by recognizing the ego's identity, it will help you to understand a better outlook that leads to self-confidence and self-regard. In essence, you get a better picture of who you are. Mind power secrets help you to advance further in both your social and character procedures. If you can understand the mind, you can see that the brain has a nurturing side, which also lies the unconscious mind, the one that lets people pamper themselves. Deep down in the mind is the unconscious mind, where the secrets of mind power wait and where the ego believes it has control over you. In order to get control over your ego, making it follow the instructions you have, you need to recognize who you are. The mind is above this unconscious mind. The layout of the unconscious mind allows you to discover mind power secrets to develop your personality and social skills. This is done by understanding your body's actions, to bring the body and mind together in harmony. Remember, the body does what the mind tells it to, which is why you must ensure you have self-control. Your mind is the best tool. Why is the mind the best power to have of all? Everything in the universe is comprised of energy vibrations. The thoughts you have come about because of these vibrations. They're the most dynamic and influential in the world. Are you telling your heart to beat? Of course not, but something is. So how is this influencing you? It's important to understand that your thoughts are separate from the physical world, but still has interaction with it. When you constantly repeat a thought in your conscious mind, it will spill over into your subconscious mind. Once the thought hits the unconscious mind, it becomes the tool and starts to reverberate. This is what brings people, circumstances, and events to you. They're simply images of the things already inside you. In layman's terms, you hold the power to influence the people, circumstances, and events that you face. Your mind can influence you. You may think that your mind can't influence you in deciding something over something else. Why is that you can't believe that something good can come from influence, but something bad can? It's impossible to realize that your mind has the power to think and influence in both directions, both good and bad. One of the great things about your subconscious mind and the power it has is that it's unable to tell the difference between reality and fiction. Thus, you have the power to program the mind and make it imprint what you want it to remember. Experiments have been carried out on athletes. They were told to imagine they were practicing for 1 month and did just as well as the athletes who practiced. What this resulted in was their mind believed they were good, which overall increased their performance. Therefore, think of a state or being over and over in your mind so it becomes a natural part of your subconscious. Using the power within you. The above technique is used on athletes all over the world. However, it's not just limited to sports. It can be applied to anything such as finances, career, relationships, self-healing, etc. Basically, anywhere in your life you want to see improvement, you can use visualizations, affirmations, meditating, develop new beliefs, and more to help you can control over your life. What you think is a great source of nourishment, but remember, only you can teach yourself how to think. Nobody can do it for you. We have to be positive or be as positive as possible. While positive thinking is basic, it's the mind power that proves invaluable. Anybody can understand the laws and techniques, but it's a real eye-opener when you figure out that your thoughts influence your reality. If you believe in mind power, then know that you're ahead of the game. After all, the theory is still relatively new. Just a minute number of people believe in the practice, and only half of them do it every day or correctly. A better understanding of mind power. What is it really? Most people are under the assumption that mind power is just being positive. However, it's more than that. It's always using methods that figuratively stamp images and beliefs on both a conscious and unconscious level. Once you can think about the stuff you want and need, you work on ways to bring them to you. The best turning point you can have in your life is finding out you have a personal power and are the leader of your own destiny. Just 15 minutes of daily practicing will change your life for the better. Keep in mind, though, this can also work against you. Why? Your thoughts can also be used against you if you continually think negative. You may not be as successful as you want, be sick constantly, or live in poverty. A person's mind power may, on a subconscious level, bring the wrong things into their life. That's because their thinking is what shapes their reality. Your creative mind fused with mind power. Creative people, usually when they have time to relax and get away from their stressors, create inventions that result from ideas that came out of thin air. These ideas tend not to take place when you're constantly working or have too much going on. If you to formulate an idea and see it come to fruition, you need some downtime. Allow yourself days of freedom where you avoid working at any cost. By letting go of the stress, you allow your creative mind to flow. Your intuition gets in touch with the thoughts running through the brain, and it uses the mind power to see thoughts come to life. Albert Einstein once said that his best ideas came to him in the shower. This would suggest that a minute time away each day allows you to formulate ideas. It's important to spend time away from everyone and everything so you can sit down, assess, and look at things with an objective point of view. If your ideas come to you when you're stressed out, you may find that they're not worthwhile ones to consider implementing. Carry out ideas that you love. Successful people often find their success, both happiness and financial, doing the things they love. Don't think so? Ponder on this for a moment. How many people do you know became successful doing something they despise doing? Chances are you don't know of any. Do you think Steve Jobs would have stayed in computers if he didn't love it? Of course he wouldn't. He got into it because he loved computers and wanted to do something to make a difference. Jobs didn't do it for the fame and fortune. This is a secret to success. If you are to be successful, you need to do what you love. You'll be more successful and you'll have fun doing the job. Yes, it's possible to have it both ways, to do something you love and make a job out of it. This is the power of the mind. Know what you want and then have goals that match your mission or purpose. Without these, you won't be successful in your endeavors. Pay mind to your thoughts. The great thing about life is being able to choose the goals you want. This is known as free will, and everybody has the right to decide how to live and what their definition of success is. It's always good as time goes on to reevaluate your goals. You may learn that the motivations you had initially are not the same as they are today. You don't want to be successful only to find that you're successful in another way. It's why everybody at some point in their life has a midlife crisis. When it comes to your mind power, the first thing you must do is pay mind to your thoughts in your head. Do this and you can direct them to how you see fit. Each day your mind is met with thousands of thoughts, some fleeting, some lingering. These thoughts can influence your life, shaping your reality to the perception it wants you to. Therefore, you need to be especially conscious of what's going on inside your mind. This aspect works in all areas of your life. Constantly thinking on the wrong beliefs. This can work in any aspect of your life, including money. So, how do you feel about money? Do you feel money is too difficult to make? Are you under the impression that there are no worthwhile opportunities? Do you feel like you can never have enough money? If you have these thoughts in your head, just know that they're imprinting into your subconscious and causing you to worry daily about money. Once the imprinting has been done, it means the people, events, and circumstances you come across in your life will match that perception. Now, it's difficult to change your mindset to a more positive one, but it can be done. By constantly thinking negative about situations, you'll never get financially ahead. It won't matter how many days a week you work, how many hours each day you work, or the ideas you think about. If the beliefs you have about money is limiting you, you'll never ascertain the money you desire. Crucial aspect behind mind power. The great thing about mind power is that the opposite can also be true. After all, repeating something over and over is a primary feature of attaining things. The subconscious attempts all beliefs and thoughts that you are constantly repeating. The great thing is that the subconscious mind can be overwritten with new repeated thoughts, beliefs, and actions. How do you do this? You just constantly do or say something over and over until it becomes true. Slowly each day the subconscious imprints it and changes your belief, regardless of what that belief is. It can be about money, weight loss, fear of heights, etc. As you turn your viewpoints around, the mind power looks for ways to give you a better situation. Finding something to be happy about. The first success belief stems on the premise that the universe is abundant in its resources. You recognize that wealth is everywhere around you, and you must allow your mind to feel surrounded by the wealth. See it, sense it, and feel it. For example, sit at the most expensive coffee place you know and like. Now imagine yourself the owner of it. The same goes for a vehicle, house, or anything else. Imagine that you are the owner of them. Mind power cares nothing about your skin color, gender, or anything else. There are many millionaires in the world, not at all different from you. If you have good prosperity beliefs and good ideas, you need to develop an initiative and put the ideas into action. You can succeed. Therefore, you need to find something that'll make you happy. If you choose to what you love, there will still be a plethora of possibilities for you to succeed. It's your responsibility to be successful, no one else's. Only you have the power to make or break your success. How to honor the instinct the mind has. Once you have something in mind that makes you happy, you need to honor it. This is what will help you to be successful, but will be your contribution in the world. Listen to that little birdie in your head telling you to go for it. Will it be easy? Not at all. In fact, it may be difficult, and you may sleep restlessly for several nights until a decision has been made and you push forward. If you are to listen to the mind's instinct, you could be making the best decision for yourself. If you do what you love, you could reach out to more people. This means following what makes you happy and being happy about it. Sure, you can make a living doing something you don't like, but you will never be truly successful. True success comes when you're happy doing what you love. It's interesting to know that your thoughts can have a direct influence on the actions you take. It can produce a set of energy vibrations that are needed and will bring your thoughts and dreams into reality. You have all the power to seize your moment. Mind power can be extremely powerful, which is why it's important you understand that unlimited power is available whenever you want it. Spend up to 10 minutes each day thinking and reaffirming thoughts to engrave them into your mind and subconscious. Now, there may be days when you don't feel excited to do this and other days when you're thinking, I don't have an unlimited source of power. It's okay if that happens, but realize that you do have an infinite amount of power at your disposal. The real important point to remember is to do this on a daily basis. Don't miss a day. It doesn't matter how annoying you may feel about it. Your mind needs constant repetition to engrave something into the subconscious. Within 90 days, it should become second nature to you. Of course, it may take longer than that. The point is not to feel despair by that reality. It happens. Now, what is the difference between mind power and positive thinking? Positive thinking boils down to if you think positive, good things are going to happen to you. Nothing wrong with that at all. It's better to think this way than to think negatively. However, mind power goes beyond this. Success using mind power. With mind power, you can get a better idea of what you want. Using certain methods like engraving, visualization, new beliefs, affirmations, and others, you add them using the method of repetition. The subconscious mind then learns it and needs to realize it. If you're to be successful, you need to repeat the right messages each day. It's not an overnight process, it takes time. Create a list of 20 things that you feel good about today. You need to think about the goals you want to attain constantly. This could be things you want to do or will do, and the changes you need to incorporate to make them come to fruition. Go ahead and plan for the future, but you also need to focus on the here and now. Don't forget that success attracts even more success. What you can do to develop mind power. If you're going to develop your mind power, you need to sit down and write out a list of things that make you feel like you have success already. Spend a few minutes looking over the list. As you read it, you should feel successful about yourself and the person you are right now. It doesn't have to be anything big. Little things like, I am a great friend. I can bake really good brownies. I am intelligent. I am a great reporter. By doing this, you generate a vibration of success that often attracts other successes. It's a very useful technique. Begin the day like this, and the day is bound to go successfully for you. When it comes to visualization, you need to engrave the goal into your subconscious. You must see, taste, and feel what it is you want to happen. The key to visualization is the need to look at the current state of things, not the future. As you see, mind power is a potent tool that everybody, young and old, has. However you use it, you need to change your outlook on life and be happy. With an infinite amount of power ready for use, you can enjoy using it to attain the good things you want. How does a reactive mind affect your ability to live a happy life? Imagine for a moment that there's a tone scale of emotion. Complete happiness at the top, complete misery at the bottom. Did you know that this scale is in existence and can help you toward attaining happiness and prosperity? At the tone scale's very top is the serenity of beingness, which is the state in which you feel complete happiness and contentment. This is what is regarded as utter joy and peace, which is something people see every now and then. Under the serenity of beingness are action, games, and postulates, all of which means to act and have something become a cause in life. For example, you're actively going through life and have a desire to succeed. Keep in mind that winning should not result in a negative outcome for your character, nor should the standards of personal ethics and morality be regarded as negative. If you are to reach high tone on a regular basis, you need to maintain high ethical standards all the time. With high levels, you can postulate that you'll see a positive outcome. Come up with a strategy that will assure you have one, and do everything you can to ensure you attain it, overcoming the obstacles in your way and bringing that goal to fruition. The tones on the upper end, including the serenity of beingness, is the result of achieving goals you've made. This means you set a goal for yourself and have attained. You saw what you needed to do to make it happen, and you did it. This gives you that feeling of success, contentment, and happiness. You are successful at living. What are some examples of this act? You studied for a test and did very well on it. You wanted to lose 10 pounds in a month and lost the weight. You began a business and was able to secure a big contract. You were able to play to perfection a song that you've been practicing on. You saw your firstborn take his or her first steps. The list goes on and on. Don't give too much thought to the tone scale, other than you need to aim high to always be happy and content in your life. The goal is to create goals that you can attain instead of goals that are out of reach and just leave you unhappy. It's just as simple as that. To ensure you attain your positive goals, you need to cast away the negativity lurking around. Negativity can only lead to failure. Don't forget that your success does not hinge on someone else or present situations. If you are a spiritual person, then you know it's still possible to be happy in your life, even when life is being unfair or unkind to you. According to Maslow's needs hierarchy, you must give in to your basic needs first before considering the esoteric and the philosophical. This can be true for some people, but it's still good to attain inner happiness first and doesn't always need to be linked to getting something. Think of it this way. It's better to see the method as being be, do, and have rather than have and do to be something. If you're upset, aggravated, or depressed, you cannot succeed in life and you'll be left feeling frustrated. However, with a positive, happy life, attaining goals is far more possible, and life will be much better and joyful for you. Simple reality. Consider why people tend to fall down the scale. The information given to them can help them, but it can either be accepted or denied, based on how they feel is right for them. It should only be accepted if you see the wisdom in it. Keep in mind that this is only a philosophical discussion and no reason to accept everything you read. If you don't feel like this pertains to you, you're bored by it, or you use other coping mechanisms to help you, you can skip it. Instead, put your attention on the be part of the tone to live a happy life and continue to attain the goal you set for yourself, to continue making good progress. It's important to remember that the difference between animals and humans is the human's ability to think about what's being thought about. This is known as analysis. The human body actually has two kinds of minds. There are two minds in the human body, each one different from the other: analytical mind, thinking mind; reactive mind, survival mind. A look at the analytical mind. This mind is regarded as the thinking mind. It's the part that gets people to think about their problems logically and come up with answers to those problems. With this mind, you can go through life and address the issues you have with the answers you come up with. If you are higher up on the tone scale, this can easily be done without letting your distractions interfere and push you down the scale and unable to attain the goal. There's an old proverb that many people still use today: when life gives you lemons, you can make lemonade. What does that mean? It means even though life is giving you lemons, people are smart enough and can analyze the things around them to see past the negativity and make something positive out of the situation. You have the capacity to bounce back and be a positive person in spite of negative things. Yes, failure will happen from time to time. However, if you're up on the tone scale, you can embrace those failures and learn from them. They can teach you the lessons you need to make sure you don't fail again. Mistakes let you get better at something. For example, you fell several times when trying to ride a bike, but you got back on that bike and tried again. A look at the reactive mind. This is known as the survival mind, which is the mind's defensive part, usually the result of past experiences. This part of the brain is responsible for your fight or flight response. Simply put, it's designed to kick in faster than the analytical mind and save you from when there's an immediate or perceived threat to your life. You don't think, you just do. This mind is not the same as the analytical mind. Think of it as like a loyal dog that will always be there for you through thick and thin. This mind is the thick part, so thick that it can be regarded as a wall, brick, or some other kind of hard substance. The influence money, or lack of it, has on people. You can use money to buy yourself all kinds of things, but it's not the end-all be-all in your life. You can't buy health, you can't buy affection, you can't buy love. You can use money to take away the hurt you have in life. It doesn't matter how much teaching a person gets, how much food they've been given, or the environment they're in. A student could fail the exam. Money cannot buy them a passing grade. A man may ask God to give him everything and enjoy his life. God would reply that he gave the man a life to enjoy all things. You can be happy without money, but money cannot buy happiness. Having a passion for money is okay. However, it's not the end-all be-all. Money only helps people go through life. The passion for life is what's desired. That is what people truly understand and want to enjoy. It's not uncommon for people to have a lot of money but feel absolutely miserable. They live the world with all this wealth but never had the opportunity to enjoy the benefits it brought. Oddly enough, money only brings on happiness when it's been shared with others. Humanitarians often collect and distribute money to others who need help. The key purpose of money is the same all around: to measure the value of something in exchange for it. Money names may differ from country to country: dollar, yen, pound sterling, won, lek, euro, etc. No matter the name, the value of it is the same. Money has an array of names based on the situation and place it changed hands. For example, it can be considered a gift for birthdays or marriages, child support for raising kids, debt when you borrow money, penalty for a court, pension for retirements, wages employers pay to workers, tips for a service rendered, ransom given to kidnappers, bribes when someone does something for it, etc. Again, money has all kinds of names it can go by. Money is storable as either movable or immovable. The types of movable money include bank deposits, bonds, bullion, coins, currency notes, insurance, shares. Each of them can be easily converted into cash. Investments in buildings and land are considered immovable that needs more cash. Money attains its color based on legality. White money is the one people tend to recognize most as it's the most accepted form. Very few people hold on to black money. Only the owner knows the value of each money, and usually kept hidden from authorities so as not to be taxed. Even with money, no one has the power to influence your destiny. You cannot avoid getting old and dying, but you should never allow money to have the power over you. Money can spoil your life spirit if you allow it. Conclusion. Imagine for a moment that you have a hot plate on a stove. You see that it's hot. The analytical part of your mind should know about heat and tell you not to touch it or go near it. The reactive mind, being that it's experienced burns previously, is sounding an alarm with you. It's sending out adrenaline and fear, which is causing you to be nervous, restless, agitated, and anxious. Now, consider you don't see that same hot plate, or that you've never seen one previously, and you're unaware of the danger. You put your hand on the plate by accident. Which mind do you think will react? The reactive mind will, because it will do what you can by sending out a physical response quickly to get your body out of danger. This means your nerves, fear, pain, and adrenaline are released so that you can step quickly away from the hot plate. You can react with no other thoughts in your mind. Of course, all this should be done before you sustain permanent injury to your hand. The reactive mind isn't just about getting you out of trouble. It records every illicit element of the incident so you'll never experience it again without alerting you. This is comparable to chemical reactions your body releases that lead to your emotional tone, and reactions which looks to control your responses. The reactive mind can be regarded as the best warning system you have. If it perceives danger or something that could cause you injury or pain, it will do what it can to make you steer clear away from it. It will find some kind of reason to make you stay as far away as possible. Again, it's like a loyal dog watching over you as you sleep, right? Not completely like that, and here's why. Remember from earlier that the reactive mind is the survival mind? Thus, it dominates the slower parts of your brain in the analytical mind. Since the reactive mind highlights certain areas in your life as being threatening or dangerous, each time you're near those things, it takes over and sends out warning signals in your body that you could be in danger.